I talk to a lot of these high level performers like yourself, people that climb great metaphorical mountains and achieve really high things. And I feel like a lot of that gets traced back to their childhood. I know you grew up on a farm. You said it right there. You had a bunch of siblings. How do you feel like your childhood kind of shaped who you are and led you to some of these great things you've been able to accomplish?
Well, I think so much, and just listen to the, radio this morning, they talk about kids and anxiety and all these things that are thrown at them. I'm like, from day one being the youngest of nine, there was 24/7 anxiety, and you just learn to deal with it. You learn to deal with the adversity, the challenges, and
Absolutely. And I think that's something that people maybe overlook a little bit. Like the players have that looming over their head as well, trades, getting cut, demoted, things like that. You guys have that in the front office as well. Your life can change on a dime at any moment. And this security's got to mean a lot for you. And, knowing you have a young family as well, being able to plant your roots in Minnesota.
Yeah, absolutely. Like ultimately, I've been really fortunate to have all the people that have supported me along the way and different mentors at my different stops. But for how much time, effort, and energy that I and our group have invested here, just wanting to be able to continue to see that through here as opposed to having to start fresh somewhere else was really meaningful and exciting for me.
So I got to ask you, Corey, some big sweeping changes in the baseball world in this past week. Of course, the passing of Bob Uecker, one of the most legendary figures in baseball of the last, 40 or 50 years or even beyond that. And you got to work intimately under him in Milwaukee. What was it like working with Bob and, just speak a little bit to his legacy?
I mean, it's hard to do that in just a short amount of time. I mean, he meant the world to me, still does, and I'm not naive enough to say that I would not have this job without him. I mean, I just would not have this job without him. He pushed me, he coached me, he educated me on so many elements of the game. And the one that I lean on most heavily is he is and was the champion of letting the game breathe with a broadcast, that it goes against everything you learn in college and early on about filling the air, filling the show with constant dialogue and constant conversation.
You had a really good senior year individually. It was a little bit weird for the team, but you guys weathered the situation really well. What was it like wrestling for J-Rob? Because like in Minnesota wrestling, he's just like this mythical, legendary
Yeah.
figure. What was it like wrestling for J-Rob?
I mean, I love wrestling for Jay. I think
Yeah.
he was a great coach and a mentor for young men. And yeah, like he's just a figurehead. A lot of people didn't like Jay for certain reasons, whether they're athletes or administration and stuff. But I always thought Jay was very fair with everyone, the way he brought down discipline and that kind of stuff. And then he also, I mean, he just had like, like that old school like mentality of like training and discipline.